power series representation of the function f of x equals x squared times ln of 1 plus x squared, and then determine the radius of convergence. So let's first look at the power series of ln of 1 plus x. That's going to be the sum from n equals 0 to infinity, negative 1 raised to the n minus first power times x to the n over n. Now, I want ln of 1 plus x squared, so I'm going to replace x with x squared. So it'll be x squared raised to the nth power, which is just x to the 2n, because whenever you have an exponent to an exponent, you just multiply like this. And I need to multiply that by x squared. So the numerator will be multiplied by x squared. So I'll just multiply x to the 2n by x squared, which will just have me add the exponents. So if I have x squared times x to the 2n, that's x to the 2n plus 2 over n. So this will be the power series representation, but now I need to find the radius of convergence. So that's going to require us to use the ratio test. So we have the limit as n approaches infinity of absolute value of the n plus first term. So replace n with n plus 1. Be n plus 1 minus 1 is n. And then here we have 2n plus 2, but n will be replaced with n plus 1. So it's 2n plus 2 plus 2, which you get 2n plus 4 as the exponent. And then we're dividing that by the nth term. So our limit as n approaches infinity. Negative 1 to the nth, negative 1 to the n minus 1. These are just negative 1 alternating between positive and negative 1, but because I'm taking the absolute value, that's just going to turn into positive 1. So I could just remove it. And then the n's are going to cancel, because if I just multiply the top and the bottom by n, these are going to cancel. And so we have x to the 2n plus 4, and then x to the 2n plus 2. You subtract these, so 2n minus 2n is 0, 4n minus 2 is 2, so we're left with x squared. And it's really the absolute value of x squared, but absolute value of x squared is equal to x squared, because x squared is always going to be greater than or equal to 0. So I don't need the absolute value to make it non-negative. So basically, you have absolute value of x squared, which this does not depend on n, and so we get x squared as our limit. And we want this to be less than 1 in order for the series to converge, which means that x has to be between negative 1 and 1. And then to find the radius of convergence, you basically find the center here at 0 between negative 1 and 1. You find the midpoint, and you have to go to 1 in each direction. So obviously, the radius here is 1.